Hey there, Grumpy Old Fart here. I'm doing a Recon the Role-Playing Game advice video on game setup. I've done a lot of videos on, on making Recon authentic. You want the feel of soldiers in Vietnam. This is a little bit more different. This is a little different. This is a little bit more on the game master side rather than the player side. Running Recon is both fun and enlightening. The more research you do into the Vietnam War, the more you will appreciate the struggles our veterans face. I've done a ton of videos on Recon. I myself am a veteran. I didn't serve in Vietnam, but I served with a lot of guys who did. I've done, again, tons of videos on Recon. Check them out. They will help you begin your Recon campaign. First off, be sure to ask your players how realistic they want the game to be. This will give you the parameters in which your game will take place. Next off, you need to determine the primary and secondary military occupational specialties, MOS, for each of your character, as well as the rank that they will hold. All stateside characters will be male. A player who runs a female character will have to run a Vietnamese ally, the ARVN, the Nungs, that kind of thing, and have them assigned to the team. These can actually be useful in dealing with the civilian population because they're, in some instances, it'll be useful. In some instances, it'll make it more difficult, but that's part of the game. Okay, the politics in the area were very. Look up the Montagnards, the Nungs, the ARVN. You'll see what I'm talking about. Now, I recommend random determination of the primary MOS. The players may have an idea of what they want to run, and that's cool. And if they want to run something that the game, if you have an existing campaign and somebody wants to run something that fits into it, amen, let them. That's fine. I recommend for starting out, if you're running your first Recon game, just roll it randomly. That way everybody gets something that they may or may not be not familiar with, but it'll be something different for them. And the reason I say the random part is if you don't do that, you'll have, 6 point men, 6 pig men, 6 intel guys or whatever. Eventually you're going to have people who want to run the same thing, and you have to have, the whole point is to have a variety of people assigned to the team. Each team member is a specialist in a specific area, and you can read up on the different ones there. The point man, pig man. The point man stays out front and checks for booby traps. It is broadly, in basic terms. The medic is the doctor on the team. The intel guy looks for intelligence, and I did videos on this, and he can communicate with the natives. The RTO is the guy who wears the backpack radio, and he's the primary communications expert. Everybody has to have a different specialty because all of the specialties are necessary for the team. I recommend random determination because that prevents people from doubling up. Now, the players should be able to choose their secondary MOS. Any MOSs that are not chosen randomly can be NPCs. So you can have NPCs in the group as well, non-player characters. I also recommend random determination of the rank of each character. The player character should start out either private, first class, PFC, corporal, or equivalent, something along those lines. Anything higher than that, and they'll actually be in charge of something. They'll have a ranking position on the team. And for first-time players, this could be bad because they have no idea what they're doing. You want the sergeant and the lieutenant to be NPCs starting out because that way, at least in the first few games, because that way they can kind of show the newer players, the players who don't understand what Vietnam was about, they can show them the ropes. They can show them how to be soldiers in Vietnam. Like teachers, tutors, as it were. Guides. Um, when you have your players make up their characters, they have to be able to do their job. But you also want to give them as broad a range of skills as possible. If all it was shooting and killing, then you wouldn't need a radio guy. You would need a medic. You would need an intel guy. Okay, there's more aspects to the game than just killing the bad guys. You want as many skills as possible on the team. So it may help for the guy to know how to drive a tank. It may help for the guy to know something about how to land a helicopter if the pilot gets hit. It may behoove the group to know, I don't know, the politics of the area, how to build carpentry, for example, to help the natives repair something that they need to promote goodwill. There's a variety of different things that go on in the game besides just warfare. If all you're doing is your guys are going out and killing things, you're missing a huge. You're focusing on one tiny part of the game. Recon characters are designed to be disposable. So for backstory, I usually have players jot down 3 or 4 or 5 things about the player character, along with their place of birth and a few essentials. Just basically something to work with. Mercenary characters can choose all their own mission, occupation, specialties, and ranks. Just make it reasonable for your game. Mercenary characters are different. They spent time in the bush. They did their time in the military. They got out and decided they wanted to be mercenaries. So there you go. I've done a bunch of videos on kit and gear, orientation, life of a soldier in Vietnam, and the like. Be sure to check those out. One of the things that people don't really understand. There's little quirky things about life as a soldier in Vietnam that people don't understand. For example, soldiers are issued condoms. And no, they're not issued condoms because they're expected to, fraternize with the locals. They're issued condoms because it's an easy way to keep water and other obstructions out of the barrel of your rifle. You see what I mean? And if worse come to worse, you just open up and shoot through the condom if you need to. I'm not trying to be disgusting, but that's what they were used for in Vietnam. It's not just recreational. Little details like that can make or break your game. Okay? Be sure to check out those videos that I did. I don't recall if I mentioned that particular one, but there's other things that will be useful. Once the player characters are in country for a while, they'll have a lot more leeway in picking weapons and gear, but until then, they are stuck with what is issued. They'll get an M16 or an M14, and they'll get the standard ammo, the standard grenades, the standard gear, that kind of thing. Once they're there for a while, they'll know people who can get them different stuff. They'll be able to go downtown and purchase something that they can. A revolver, for example. I'm a revolver guy. As a backup weapon, because it's the guns they issued were good, but sometimes you want something else as well. Just a little bit of backup is always a good thing. Now, make sure the introductory mission is suitably exciting and that everyone on the team gets a chance to shine. With a little work on your part and a large variety of skills throughout the team, your job will be, with a little bit of work on your part, the players will all get an opportunity to do something important in the game. It doesn't take a lot of brain power for that. But you want to make each player feel like they're the star of the show, as it were. And with a large variety of skills throughout the team, your job in that aspect becomes a lot easier because, your character is the only one who knows how to fix a radio. There you go. We need to get the radio fixed so we can call in for some air support. That kind of thing. But yeah, again, I'm not trying to tell people how to run their games, but my goal here is to help people run better games, and I'm hoping that's what you're getting from this. I hope that's your takeaway. If you enjoy my content, it would really help me out if you could hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, share my content on all of your social media platforms, and post a comment or two. Remember, I welcome your comments, even if you disagree with me. And in these advice videos, if you have questions, I try to get to them. Check me out over on Rumble for my political commentary and weekly current events. If you enjoy a good book, check out my author page on Amazon.com. My pen name is H.L. Anderson. You can find all of my books there, including the ones posted, the ones shown here, Drifters. Drifters 1, 2, 3, and there is a fourth one. These are fantasy Western videos. At their heart, they're shoot-'em-up fist-fighting Westerns, but they've got everything from time travel to alternate dimensions to magic, monsters, mythology, religion. There's an Egyptian necromancer in the fourth one. Yeah, it just... everything I could think of is in there except for aliens and spaceships. So yeah, if you enjoy weird, they're right there. That's your series. It's got just about everything. I hope this finds everybody well. You folks have a good one. God bless one and all.